This time on the Natural Gearhead Garage, we're outfitting that 2023 Accord with what some people might consider unnecessary parts. All right, so what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, I am Joby, the Natural Gearhead. This is my wife's 2023 Honda Accord. You might be asking, why is it in there? Why does it have the wheel off? You know, what's going on there? And why is he adding rear camber arms that are adjustable? Well, let me tell you a quick story on why you need these on your Honda Accord. Recently, I went on a big trip with this car. We did over 1,000 miles round trip. Right before a big trip, if you're a car guy or girl, you probably go over your vehicle, make sure it's ready for the trip. So look at tires, look at fluids, all those things. So as I'm checking the tires, they're worn. And I'm like, what in the world? This car has 30,000 miles. The tires are supposed to be good for 70 or 75,000 miles. Way premature wear. So I throw 4 brand new tires on it, load up all our stuff in here, and I look at the rear tires and notice they're leaning in a whole lot. The whole way I'm looking at Honda Accords driving by me down the freeway, right? That are unloaded, just people cruising. You can see the tires leaning in on stock vehicles. So I start doing some research. Find out that apparently in 2018 and newer Accords, the factory has them already leaned in with too much camber, okay? And it is non-adjustable. So when you go to line it up, kind of stuck with what you got from the factory. So a lot of people are getting premature tire wear, just like I did. So I want to put some adjustable rear camber arms on this so I can take it down, get a proper alignment, get this thing dialed in, and we don't have to keep buying tires because 30,000 miles on a 70,000 mile tire, not acceptable. Already got the wheel off, got it in the air here. So we're gonna get under there, take a look at what's going on and get these things out. Now, I have never done this job before, so it's new to me, but I'm sure it's straightforward, right? How hard can it be? I don't know. But you can watch me suffer and maybe learn something from it. If you like videos like this, how-tos and things like that, I do a lot of that on the channel. Consider subscribing if you're new to the channel. Let's come in here and see what we're looking at. So this is the factory arm right here. So it bolts in right here. It kind of dips down and goes right up in there and bolts on the other side. The bolt head is on the forward side facing the front of the car, and there's a welded nut on the back side over here. So we'll hopefully get this out with no problems. And when I get this out, since this is fixed, I'll just line it up with this one. That way this is the same length as the factory. Get it all locked down and install it. That way we know we have at least the factory adjustment till we can get it down to the alignment shop and have them do the proper alignment and get some better tire wear on this thing. So these are both 17 millimeter. What is that? Like, ugh. All right, both 17 millimeter. So I'm gonna use this flex head that I have and shallow well socket here. I'm not gonna take this out yet. I just wanna get it loosened up. Looks like I might be able to just go right through here, but I don't know. Yeah, we're on it anyway. It's like we're just clearing that arm. Oh yeah. So that's loosening up right there. Walk this out. Get this other bolt out. It feels pretty loose. Bolt out. Get this arm hopefully out of here. Boom, look at that. Laid out the factory one. Took the bolts that we had. I laid this on top just as it goes to match it. Slide that in there. And then I just adjusted this till I look inside. I see the hole looks perfectly lined up and the bolt drops in real nice. Now I'm just gonna tighten all this up, lock everything down, and then I'll install it, and it should be to factory settings. And then we can take it to an alignment shop, and I can get them to dial this in so that we have a lot better tire wear. Slide this off of here, put it in, and see if we can get it installed. All right, got her about lined up, so we'll slide the bolt in. Okay, that's in there. Kind of run it down a little bit, not all the way tight. Okay, so we got our bolt in, and I noticed that I'm having a hard time holding this up like this. So I just put a jack up here, a piece of wood, so I don't damage these studs. I'm just gonna use this to kind of help me lever this over so that I can line this up a lot easier without fighting it. See what that looks like. There we go. Put the nut on and tighten it up. And we'll tighten up that other side too because it's just temporarily installed. I'm gonna double check these lock nuts. Yep, pretty good. This side's all wrapped up, and go ahead and throw the wheel on, and that thing looks super nice. Check this thing out. Oh yeah, hopefully this will fix our alignment issues, and we'll go do the other side, take it down to the alignment shop and get this thing all lined up. And we don't have to worry about these things wearing out again, because they were expensive, and I don't want to keep buying tires. Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm. Now, this side up in there, that area, yeah. It looks a little bit tighter over here just because there's the vent and the fill line. Looks like it might be in the way a little bit. So we'll get this loosened up, and then we're gonna try to go in there and tackle that area. I'm going in with the same setup, just a long ratchet and a short well. And it seems like, I mean, you gotta fish it in there, but it seems like we can get on it, and I think we can get her broke loose. Just give her the beans. Definitely is, these lines are in the way, but so far, I think we're okay. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get this bolt out first, like we did the other side. This time, I'm gonna use this jack with the piece of wood I got under here, and I'm just gonna lift this jack up and down a little bit to where that bolt is nice and loose, and then hopefully it'll slide right out. See, I've already got it turning, so I should be able to just slide this thing right out. That's it. My pry bar to kind of pop it out of place. There we go. Now, work on that bolt over there. There we go. Woo! All right. So that bolt, more of a pain. So I did switch over to this guy, which is a flex head, like basically shallow ratchet. This is a Harbor Freight. It's made by Pittsburgh. And then I had to use this cotter pin extractor, also Harbor Freight, to go into the end of the nut that's welded on to push the bolt out, because it would just sit there and spin once it was loose. You really can't get your hand in here to grab the bolt and pull it out. So I use this to push it out, if that makes sense. So now, got the arm out, so we'll go ahead and set our length and get this other one ready to go in. All right, let's get this thing installed. All right. Again, it's a tight fit. I used a mirror to line it up. Just get that completely lined up and then slide the bolt in, and then we'll work on this outside here. FYI guys, I found it's a little easier to access tightening this bolt from underneath. If you have this on jack stands, coming underneath, reaching your arm up over this cross member, getting a hold of your ratchet and having a long ratchet like this, you can really access that really nice. But you can also do it from the top. I was doing it, just took a lot longer. I couldn't get as much swing on my ratchet. This is easier and quicker, so totally up to you, but this is what I'm going with for now. I'll get this kind of snugged up, and then I'll move to that outboard bolt. Boom, baby. We are talking. All right, let's get this nut put on here. Usually with suspension parts, I like to wait on the suspension before I fully tighten it. So what I'm gonna do, I can access all this stuff from underneath. That's what I'm gonna do since I have a lift. If you don't have a lift, use your best judgment, but that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna snug this up a little bit, get the wheel on, lower this down, go underneath, and just kind of make sure these are tightened up while the weight is on the wheels. All right, get this just snugged up for now. We'll get the wheel on and go ahead and get the weight on the wheels, get it off the jack stands, and then I'll come back and put my final torque on the outboard bolt here and the inboard bolt inside there. But just to make sure that the suspension is settled, because we had it hanging and now it's seated, it kind of binds up a little. I'm gonna drive it forward a couple feet and back a couple feet and put it back in park, lift this thing back in the air and tighten down those bolts. This thing should be dialed in after that and ready for an alignment. So let me get it rolled forward, backward, and do all the stuff I just said. All right, let me make sure these are all loose, and I'll bounce the car a little bit and tighten them up. I'm gonna grab the hitch and just bounce this thing a little bit, make sure she's settled in, If you're looking to install a hitch on one of these newer Accords, I got a video on that, on the full install of this thing, how to do it, and what you gotta do, what you gotta cut out and drill and everything. Go back, check the channel if you're looking to install one of those, and I'll show you how to do that in that video. Get this baby tightened up. So this is the outboard on the driver's side, and then I'll just move my way across. She'll be ready to go to the alignment shop. Before I let you go, I want you to see this camber. Now, remember, we set it to the factory specs. I'm gonna spin you around here and let you see, if you can see through the camera, how much camber this thing is like leaning in. Let me spin you around. All right, so here's the front, and you can see that wheel is nice and straight, right? No problem. Now, when we go to the back, you can just see that thing tipped in. It's ridiculous. And this is the factory setting. You've seen me set it to exactly what the other one was. Hopefully you learned something from this video, and it'll help you install these camber arms on yours if that's what you're looking to do. Or if you're lowered and you need some rear camber arms, this will also help you on the install of your camber arms. So if you could share the video and the channel, subscribe if you're not subscribed, please, that helps the channel out a lot. Just click the share link and throw it on your social media. It really does help the channel out and it helps it grow a little bit. So again, I appreciate each and every one of you watching, and we'll see you in the next video.